Somebody please give it up for Miss Myrandah Heim.
Change. Let's talk about it for a few moments. We partake in change every day, probably more than we even realize. We change our clothes, change lanes while driving. Some of us doing so without using a signal, but that's another topic for another day. And my, oh my, how many times do we change our minds throughout the day? Oh, and boys, that comment floating through your head right now about how that mainly applies to us girls can just float right on out. I'm not saying it's not true, just let it float away. I need you focused right now. A great definition of change that I found says, change is to make the future course of something different from what it would be if left alone. That being said, let's discuss several considerable changes that have impacted our world. First, let's start with a very recent and most obvious innovation, the internet. It's no doubt the internet has revolutionized our world in both positive and negative ways. If it weren't for the internet, we wouldn't have the amazing level of communication that we have. We couldn't be able to check the weather forecast whenever we want. We still have to wait and watch the weatherman on the evening news. I can't believe I used to have to do that. Talk about crazy. And without the internet, I would not have been able to get my fabulous spinning bag half up. Yes, the internet has definitely opened us up to new dimensions of possibilities. But some of these dimensions have been negative. This grand innovation has also encouraged and enabled the mass population who is struggling with sexual sin. It has developed playgrounds for predators and threatens the safety for the younger generations. Not to mention the ease it's created for identity theft. Yes, the internet has definitely changed our world. Now, let's back on a few years to the cosmic invention of toilet paper. How did we live without it? Think about how your level of hygiene alone would be compromised without it. Ew, now stop, that's gross. Would we still be in the days of using leaves or cloth? Who knows? All I know is thank heavens for the man who had the brilliant idea to roll some disposable tissue around a cardboard tube. The one negative thing I can say about it is how the continual developments and varieties can certainly impede my time in the store. You know, you see it too. People just standing in the middle of the teepee aisle, having that not so quiet conversations with themselves about which kind to buy, because there are so many kinds to choose from. Single ply or two ply, quilted or not, double or triple roll. Ugh, just make a decision. I need to get to the other end of the aisle so I can get on with my shopping. Now, back to my earlier definition of change. To make the future course of something different from what it would be if left alone. Let's go back one last time to a little over 2,000 years ago to take a look at the poster child for this definition, Jesus Christ. He absolutely made the future course of the world different from what it would be if left alone. Jesus sacrificed himself for all of mankind. You, me, yeah, you. He did it so that we might be saved, so that we can have a personal relationship with him. And this, my friends, changes everything. Waiting for me to jump on my soapbox about the negative impact of this change? Sorry, not gonna happen. Jesus Christ is the best thing that's ever happened in this world. Woo!